That's good, right? Hello. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Kira Pellin. I'm a certified personal trainer, and today I'm going to go through some questions. I asked you all over on Instagram to ask me a couple questions so I can do another Q&A on YouTube. Shameless plug for my Instagram here. Go follow me, please. I'm trying to get to 10,000 followers. So I could only pick a few today. So if you guys like these and find these interesting, maybe I'll do these pretty consistently. If you hate these, also let me know in the comments. Like if you're like, nobody wants to hear about your life, girl, like totally fair. I will take the constructive criticism. Okay, but let's get started because I have a lot of questions today and I'm kind of a yapper. So I feel like this is gonna get long and my goal is not long. So, and I'm also not gonna list usernames today only because I did not ask permission from these people if I could post their username. So I'm gonna omit them today. Okay, so the first one is, what's one tip you got for getting back into a routine after being sick? My tip for you is to start really slowly. Don't pressure yourself into going back into the routine full force. Make sure you listen to your body. If you're feeling tired, maybe just commit to 10 minutes, maybe commit to 20 minutes, but never go back into things full force. Always kind of like stagger yourself and eventually you'll get back into the full swing of things. It happens to me all the time. I have the worst immune system. I feel like I'm constantly getting sick. So I always just listen to my body. That's the most important part. Someone asks, what's your favorite running shoe to race in? I actually answered this question in my last Q&A, but I love answering this question, so I'm going to answer it again. I always run in my ASICS Gel Nimbuses. I love them. They're super plushy. I love a good plushy, comfy shoe. It gives me like a lot of bounce when I'm running, and I prefer that because I feel like I'm a little bit more heavy-footed when I land when I run. So definitely the gel. I'll write it out. The Gel Nimbus ASICS, the ASICS Gel Nimbus, and I think they're up to like 27 right now. So ASICS Gel Nimbus 27 is definitely my go-to. Someone said, are you running the Boston Marathon? So if you guys don't know this, I grew up in Boston, so it's on my bucket list to run the Boston Marathon one day. I have to, but the only thing is, it is extremely hard to qualify for, and I have not qualified for the Boston Marathon yet. I'm giving myself, in November is my Ironman, so I'm giving myself a couple years to slowly prepare for that. I think my time, I'm 30 years old, so my time is around 3:25, and so that's pretty fast. So I've not qualified yet, but it is on my bucket list. So hopefully one day. Someone else said, as a runner, do you feel caffeine or energy drinks are necessary for high effort runs or long runs? This is a really tricky question. I always drink an energy drink before my long runs. I feel like it gives me that boost of energy, but I think it's kind of a false sense of security. I know many runners who do not run with caffeine, and they run perfectly well. So part of me thinks it's a little bit of a placebo for me personally. Like I'm drinking the caffeine and yes, I get that initial energy burst, but at the end of the day, I don't think it impacts my performance. I think I could easily run well without caffeine. I'm actually trying to cut back my caffeine intake a little bit just because I feel like I'm a little bit addicted to caffeine and it's not a great habit to start. And I also have anxiety. I've had anxiety ever since I was a little girl. So just caffeine and anxiety are just they're not good friends. My friend Sam asked me, how do you make running more fun? This is a really common question that I get. And for me personally, I like to run with my friends. Running with a community and a group keeps things really interesting. But at the same time, if you don't have the cardiovascular endurance to like keep up a conversation when you run, it's really hard to converse with your friends. So for beginners or newbies, I definitely recommend making a playlist before your run. Like choose songs that get you going, get you motivating, like the songs that make you want to dance, right? Put those on a playlist. I also sometimes, if I don't feel like listening to music, I love listening to a podcast. Like, I really love true crime, so I'll listen to like Airplane. Hold. So podcast, music, running with friends, and also just scenery. Like, I cannot stand running on a treadmill. I think it sounds like the seventh layer of hell to do 10 plus miles on a treadmill. So I prefer going outside. Running in a very scenic, naturey place really keeps me motivated. It keeps me going. I run when it's sunny out. Like, I love when it's beautiful weather, and that cheers me up immensely. So just really like cultivating your running space around what brings you joy and what you enjoy doing. Another tip that I have for you guys is sign up for a freaking race. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be a 5K, it can be a 10K, it can be a half marathon, it can be a full marathon if you really want to send it, but have that thing that you're looking forward to and training consistently for. I signed up for an Ironman in November, never having done a triathlon in my life, but I know myself, and I know that's the only way to get me to train consistently for something that I want to do, is to just bite the bullet and sign up for something, and then make a plan for myself and kind of give yourself no choice but to like go out and do the work, right? I find that fun for myself because it's like holding myself accountable to something that I know that I want to do. I knew this was coming. Someone said, did you get Gymshark66? The answer is I did not. I'm so happy for the 2 people who did get Gymshark66. They announced it this week on their Instagram. I'm so excited for them. There's no like sadness in my heart. Like, I see those people and I know that those 2 people who won worked their butts off, and that's my dream. And so you can't help but be happy for someone else who is accomplishing their goals and their dreams. And I can tell that they deserved it. They both look fantastic, and I have nothing but happiness for them. This is a 2-parter question. Someone said, if you didn't get Gymshark66, are you gonna still try for Gymshark? And the answer is absolutely. I've been following Gymshark since like the first original Gymshark athletes came out. Like, I don't know if you guys remember Karina L, but like all these people that I looked up to were like the original Gymshark crew, and I've been following along ever since. And I saw them, I think it was like 2016 maybe, like 2016 to 2018, like that original group have been some of my biggest fitness idols, and I will absolutely keep trying for Gymshark as long as I can. I've loved their brand. I see myself fitting in with them so well. I'm inspired by all their athletes. I believe in their brand mission. I believe in their company. I think they're made up of really amazing people, and the ultimate goal is to get signed by Gymshark. However, I don't know if I'm too old to be a Gymshark athlete. I'm 30 years old. I don't know if they're looking for someone my age or if they're willing to sign someone my age. I don't know how they feel about my age. Also, a little shout out, I'm wearing Gymshark. But again, like, I just don't know if they think that my age of 30 is too old for their brand. I don't know how they feel or what kind of parameters they're looking for when they sign new athletes. I'm seeing a lot of younger athletes getting signed with Gymshark, but I know they do have some older athletes. I think like Lucy Davis and Nutty Foodie Fitness, I think they're all like late 20s, early 30s, but they've also been with the brand for a long time. So I don't know if they'd ever be willing to sign somebody new at 30, but I guess we'll see. I think a lot of the people that they sign have a really big online social media presence. So that just tells me that I really need to work on that and cultivate a community of people who are following me and are inspired by me. And that's exactly what I'm doing this year. I told myself 2025, I was gonna stop sitting around and feeling sorry for myself and really just put in the work and the energy it takes to get to where I want to be. And so 4 weeks ago, I think this is like my 1st or 5th week on YouTube. Yay, 5 weeks. So this is my 5th week on YouTube, and I've been really consistent about posting. I've been shooting content every single day. I've been working really hard. Thank you so much for being here and supporting my channel. You guys are obviously like the first group of people to believe in me as a fitness influencer. And so if you're here, by the time this video is posted, if you're here, you are the OG crew who has been supporting me from the start. And I really hope one day I'm able to look back on this video and have thousands and thousands of subscribers and be like, thank you guys for believing in me from the start. But yeah, so my goal this year is not only to get Gymshark's attention, but to really just work on, you know, putting out amazing content and helping you guys reach your goals. Like at the end of the day, this isn't just for me. I want this journey to be for you guys so that you can learn and we can start tackling our goals together. It doesn't matter where you are in your fitness journey. We all have goals, which means we're collectively in it together. Your goal may look way different than my goal, but at the end of the day, we all want to grow and be better athletes and be better people. And I think that's just such a shared experience. And I'm so excited that you're here. At the same time, I know myself. I know my worth. I know how hard I work. I work my butt off. And if a brand can't see what I see, at the end of the day, I cannot put my self-worth onto that expectation, right? Like I have to believe in myself, even if a brand doesn't want to work with me, even if, you know, that may not work at the end of the day. If Gymshark never wants to work with me, I have to be okay with that. And I have to know that I'm worthy. And it doesn't mean that I'm not a great, amazing, kind athlete who is a genuine person. Like, does that make sense? Like, yes, that's my dream. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, I'm going to be okay. Someone said it's really hard for women to get abs. Did you always have abs? I mean, from a genetic standpoint, this is a really tricky question. I was a swimmer nearly my whole life. I started swimming when I was like 6 years old, and I swam throughout middle school. I swam throughout high school. I swam a little bit in college. It was a D1 school, but I dropped out. That's a story for another day. But I've been swimming my whole life essentially. So I've always been an athlete. I've always had a really athletic build. There was a time like 7-8 years ago where I was really underweight and I was kind of skinny fat, and so I did not have visible abs then. My abs only really became visible when I started eating well, eating high protein and running. Tips for beginners in the gym: I'm really nervous. Don't be nervous. Just remember that we all start at the point that you're at. The people that you look up to used to be in your position at one time, and so let that fuel you, motivate you, and guide you. I promise, nobody is looking at what you're doing in the gym and judging you. If you ever have a question, like 9 times out of 10, the person in the gym is so happy to help you and share their knowledge. Don't be nervous. We all start there, and you're gonna kick butt. And I promise you, one day you're gonna look back and you're gonna say to yourself, why was I afraid? Like, I have come so far. I cannot believe I was ever afraid. And then people are going to ask you for tips on what to do in the gym because they're going to be in the same position you're in now. Someone said, do you eat meat? I always see you eating those veggie burgers. The answer is yes. I eat a lot of chicken and turkey. I don't eat beef. I mean, I eat beef every now and then, but it's very, very rarely because I personally don't like beef. I don't like steak. I just prefer chicken, turkey, and I eat a lot of like veggie stuff. So yes, I'm not vegan, I'm not vegetarian, but I do eat a lot of plant-based foods. What's one tip you would give to someone younger than you just starting out on their fitness journey? That's a really good question. I would have to say consistency. Be consistent. You are not going to see results unless you're showing up every day for yourself. And this is the biggest piece of advice I could give somebody is you have to want it. No one else can want your goal for you. You have to want it, and that means you have to want it hard and bad enough to be doing the work. Whether that means going for your scheduled run, even if it starts raining outside, going to the gym, even though you have a last minute meeting and you have to move your gym session up to 5 a.m. and that means losing an hour of sleep. You know, wanting it bad enough where if you have 2 kids, you turn to your husband and you say, hey, I need you to watch the kids for 30 minutes while I go on this run or while I go to the gym. You know what I mean? You have to want it bad enough where you're making those sacrifices and putting in the work even when it gets hard. So those are all the questions that I have today. Those were some really good questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you took one little bit of inspiration from any of these questions And my goal is at the end of every video for you to walk away feeling inspired, right? I want you to feel like, yeah, I feel invigorated. I feel inspired by her. I am ready to put in the work to reach my goals. Like, I hope if you feel inspired, let me know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Please go add me on Instagram at Kira Pellant, on TikTok at Kira Pellant, and on YouTube at Kira Pellant. Super easy, just Kira Pellant on all channels. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will talk soon.